Welcome to the Endgame Inc. Shadowlands Prepatch guide. A little disappointing, but let's take a look. So we'll jump right into some of the rewards. So some of the rewards from the Shadowlands Prepatch event come from collecting Darkened Scourge Stones and the Pitch Black Scourge Stones, which can be found on different mobs and the rares throughout Icecrown. So looking at some of the gear, you can see there's a toy, there's a pet, and then there's the rest of the item level 100 gear. So lots of different things you can get from the rewards. The pet is pretty sweet. We'll take a closer look at it here. It's the Putrid Geist. Kind of neat. I mean, it's certainly not a new model or anything like that, but it's a cheap and easy to get pet. So if you're a pet collector, that's really, it's an easy one to pick up. The rest of the pre-patch, let's just say that as of right now, it is a lot of looking at your map every 20 minutes, find the purple skull, fly to it, kill it, loot it, and then wait 20 more minutes. It's slightly uneventful, maybe. I guess at the end of the day, it's something to do while we wait, but at the same time, it's certainly a pretty lackluster pre-patch event. It's okay, I guess, to, if you're looking to gear up alts that are well under the 100 item level that the rewards give, but honestly, it's a little bit lacking. Like, it's certainly not going to keep people entertained, or hasn't kept people entertained. There's more, the second part that comes out on Tuesday. This would be the 17th. But the problem is, I don't, like, the hype for this pre-patch just didn't live up to the expectation. And maybe we shouldn't have had an expectation, but I mean, there was one. And we missed, to say the least. So I wanted to show some video of this is kind of what you can expect. So what you just saw was me flying, found the rare, fly to it. When they do spawn, there's an orange emote that will show in the zone to give you time, and there's a protected window. I think it's 2 minutes where the boss will spawn, or the rare will spawn, and it's not attackable for 2 minutes to allow people to get there. And then after that, it becomes, as you can see, attackable. A bunch of people are already probably there to help you kill it at all hours of the day. So there's plenty of people doing it and engaged in it. Generally, I think I've only had one time where we weren't able to actually kill the boss because, we didn't have enough people. I think it was Lady Death Whisper, who has a one-shot mechanic if you don't interrupt it. It was a little brutal with like 3 people, but for the most part, you're not going to have issues finding people to help take these down. The rares do drop item level 110 epics, so if you've got enough patience and want to sit there and farm, you can kill them basically every 20 minutes for your chance at level 110 gear. It's pretty rare, though. I don't know what the actual drop rate is. It seems like I was probably getting one epic maybe in every 4 or 5 kills or something. And so, sure, getting, one, let's call it every hour or hour and a half, it's probably a better way of gearing than other methods that are out there. But at the same time, it's not like it's great. And it's really kind of tedious to try to do this on alts or any characters that you were just looking to mess around on or gear up before Shadowlands. It's probably not worth the time investment. So there's an example of a 110 ring that dropped, but then you can see afterwards it's basically okay, we're done, let's go fly around, and obviously there's nothing else spawned. We'll wait 20 minutes, and until then we dance. Just dance. It's the best way to kind of spend your time, get your aerobics in while you're waiting for the next rare to spawn. And then once it does, you fly to it on the map and wait for the timer to expire, kill it with your friends, and then loot it, and basically rinse and repeat. So all in all, I mean, I'm being probably more critical than I should be, but at the same time, it just, thinking back to past pre-patch events, I know this isn't everything. It's pretty lackluster. It's certainly not going to get anybody too hyped up, too excited. I think it's, if anything, it's probably been slightly disappointing just because it's a lot of sitting around, dancing, waiting, trying to be patient, which is not something that myself or probably most other WoW players are great at doing. So it's, I guess, get out there, enjoy it. It's more content. It's stuff that we didn't have before. And while we wait these last 10 days, until Shadowlands launch, it's something to do, but it's certainly not the draw that I think a lot of people were hoping for, unfortunately. The one thing I will say, at least, is if you're looking for kind of a more passive way to gear up alts, it's probably worth logging in and at least hitting up the dailies. You get, I think normally it's like 5, well, if you do the dailies and a couple of rares or whatever, then you should be able to gear up pretty much entirely before Shadowlands. So it's only, the content, I guess, is the most of a letdown, or the most, it didn't quite live up to what a lot of people, I think, wanted it to be. But that's really for the people that were looking for something to actively do, ways to kind of actively spend their time in game. And it just falls short of that because the 20-minute timer between bosses. So I don't know if there are plans to increase the timer, shorten the timer for next week. I know they'll be adding kind of the later part of the quest line, but either way, if you're not expecting it to take up all of your in-game time, then it's probably okay. You can pick up a few pieces of gear or close the gap on your alts. But if you were looking for something that you could, spend hours and hours a week doing from now until Shadowlands, I'm not quite sure this is it. Although next week we'll bring the zombie invasion, or the undead invasion, which always brings a ton of fun. It wears off a little quick, but the nice thing is it's only 6 days from there until Shadowlands. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you soon with another video.